Hello and welcome to a time special presentation for Tirukural with the Times, where we explore real-world lessons from the classic Tamil text Thirukkural with motivational speaker, author and diversity champion Bharathi Baskar. Life can be bewildering. It can batter and bruise you. The recent suicide of a newlywed bride is a painful reminder that when survival is at stake, even the most time-honored values must be challenged. That the purpose of education is to empower us to navigate darkness, to remind us that life is still worth living, to learn how honor and pride gain relevance only in the right context.
Ardana was just 27, married for barely 70 days. She ended her life by consuming pesticide. Her body was found in a parked car. Before she slipped away, she sent 7 audio messages to her father, apologizing for the path she had chosen. Unable, she said, to bear the harassment allegedly inflicted by her husband and in-laws. In one voice note, she whispered the most haunting of farewells. "I can't live this life anymore." We do not know the full story. Investigations will unearth the details, and justice hopefully will find its way. But one question echoes louder than the rest. Why do young men and women with education, resources, and opportunities still reach such devastating ends? Let's not look away. Life can be bewildering. It can batter and bruise. But if education doesn't empower us to navigate its darkness, to remind us that life is still worth living, then what have we truly learned? Almost every human being at some point or other faces that bleak moment. The soul worn thin, the mind echoing the shame or despair. We glance at the abyss thinking perhaps this is the only way out. But from deep within, something stirs, a raw instinct to survive. We rise, we whisper to ourselves, "Not yet, not like this." But for many, it does. India accounts for 38.8% of global suicide deaths among women and 26.3% among men. Suicide is the leading cause of death for youngsters. 1 in 3 of them take that step due to family issues. Psychologist Roy Baumeister describes suicide as a response to unbearable self-awareness, a mind overwhelmed by failure, guilt, and self-loathing. The person visualizes not only death, but the aftermath, grief, regret, even revenge. Death becomes not an end, but a statement. What drives this despair? Sometimes it's as trivial as a failed exam or a teacher's rebuke, a heartbreak, parental scolding, social judgment, or, as in Ardana's case, a crushing belief that marriage happens only once and breaking it is a sin beyond survival. Monogamy is a noble ideal, and yes, history is filled with those who have given up their lives for ideals. But a sacrifice earns its nobility only when it serves a higher purpose, when it uplifts others, preserves truth, or advances justice. To give up one's life because an ideal was challenged by personal suffering is not bravery but tragedy. When survival itself is at stake, even the most time-honored values must be challenged. In our urgency to honor tradition, we forget that no ideal is sacred enough to demand a life in sacrifice. Parents, too, must unlearn the habit of clinging to social approval. Let your children fail, stumble, choose differently. If they want to walk out of a marriage, quit a course, skip an exam, so be it. What matters is not community whispers, but their heartbeat. Let them live, let them outlive us. Let's talk to them that courage lies not in silence endurance, Let's talk to them that courage lies not in silent endurance, but in speaking out, walking away, or beginning afresh. For centuries, societies glorified suicide in the name of honor. Even Tirukural praises those who chose death over disgrace. Ilivarin, Vaazhadha Maanam Udayaar, Olithozhudhu, Eththum Ulagu. The world will always praise and adore the fame of the honorable who would rather die than suffer indignity. But we must remember that the context of such couplets is different. They were meant for warriors and tribes that fought for their identities. Extending them to individuals who are challenged by life events and threatened by social norms may be inappropriate. Let the new ideal be this: honor belongs to those who live. Pride rests with the resilient. Let us stop eulogizing those who fall into darkness and instead uplift those who walk through it. If Ridhanya had whispered to herself, 1 year from now, none of this will matter, perhaps she might have lived. Her parents might have been spared a grief no justice can heal. We owe our children a new legacy, not one of quiet suffering, but of radiant survival. Because in the end, life is precious, and to live it, truly live it, that takes more courage than we ever speak of.